Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia and welcome back to the Overwatch League Roundup 2020 Week 13 Meta Preview. So, yes, Meta, hero pools, it's all going swimmingly, isn't it? Let's be quite honest here. So, this is, again, an interesting debate to have right now. So last week we had Tracer, Echo, Orisa and Moira banned. They will be back in the pool. The thing is, Echo was never going to be in the Overwatch League pool, but for some reason she was banned anyway because of her high play rate in competitive. She is now back in competitive. Echo, though, will be available this week for our Overwatch League. So, Echo is now available, Hero 32, and it'll be very interesting to see how teams utilize her in light of the bans that have come through for Week 13. Because the Week 13 bans, they're spicy, but also the damage bans are nothing new, and it's a slightly worrying debate that we might have to start having about hero pools and whether it's as effective as it was. Anyway, let's start off with supports as always, and this week it's Mercy who is going to be banned for Week 13, and this has an up and down point. So, I mean, Pharah is probably going to die anyway because of the introduction of Echo, but Echo Mercy would have been something we probably would have seen. And obviously with Mercy out of the pool, it makes Echo slightly weaker. But considering the damage bans we've got this week, which we'll go through in a minute, I think Echo is still going to see a healthy bit of playtime, especially in dive comps. I think Echo, she's got a very similar playstyle to Genji at times. And I think I could see the Chinese teams picking her up a lot. It'll be interesting to see how teams use Echo. I think we are going to see perhaps a substantial amount of Echo this week because her counters are not as prevalent as usual. We'll talk about it when we go into the damage category. But Mercy being banned, it shouldn't have too much of an effect on Echo this week. Other weeks it might do, but Pharah, I mean, you know, dead. I think Pharah is just dead. I don't know what to say about Pharah really. And yeah, we'll see how it happens. But Mercy's not going to be massively impactful, I don't think. Moving on to the tank bans though. And this week we see a Wrecking Ball banned once more. So again, this one, it's an interesting one. Again, we won't see the Meng Wrecking Ball. But to be quite honest, I don't think a Meng is a Wrecking Ball one trick by any means anymore. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about when Wrecking Ball is taken out of the pool, because if Wrecking Ball is not in the pool, then D.Va and Winston are. So if Dive wants to be run, Dive can be run. If Winston is out of the pool, then Wrecking Ball and D.Va are in the pool, so it can be run. If D.Va is out of the pool, then Wrecking Ball, Winston are in the pool, so it can still be run to a certain extent. So I think it's okay Wrecking Ball being banned. Again, I kind of like watching Wrecking Ball play, so it's a bit of a sad thing on that one. It also means that it's probably not going to heavily influence the tank meta right now. The tank meta is Reinhardt D.Va most of the time, unless you want to run the Orisa Sigma, which is now a possibility this week, considering that Orisa is back. We did see a bit of Reinhardt Sigma last week as well, so that's a possibility, but with Orisa back, I expect to see more Orisa Sigma. It'll be interesting to see what the teams do. It'll be heavily team-based on whether they prefer to run a bit more dive, or they prefer to run the Ryan D.Va, or the Sigma Orisa. It's completely team-based, and we will see where they go with it. But Wrecking Ball, it's not a massive hit, but you just like seeing Wrecking Ball, really. That's the thing with that one. But the two most impactful hits will once again be the damage heroes. So, once again, we will see McCree and Widowmaker banned. So this is a worrying trend that is starting to develop. So last week we had Tracer and Echo banned in week 12. In week 11 we had Widowmaker and McCree banned. And I'm worried we might start to see a trend where the two most dominant Hitscan heroes in the game, obviously the Widow and the McCree, get banned every other week. It's a possibility considering that most of the hero pool decision making is now done from high level competitive play rates on ladder, not in OWL. If OWL was the sole hero pool thing, which is what we had previously before they were merged, then I think we'd see a lot more Mei banned. I think we'd see a lot more Sombra perhaps banned as well. She's doing pretty well at the moment. McCree would still be a high possibility of being banned because McCree is fairly meta, but we're not seeing a lot of Widowmaker. And yet Widowmaker's been banned. We are seeing a lot of Mei at the competitive pro level, and she's not getting banned. And that's a problem for viewership, in my opinion. Mind you, viewership is an interesting topic when you talk about Overwatch League at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, that's a topic for another video. That is just around the corner. But anyway, to put this into perspective, out of the 7 weeks of hero pools we've had now, spanning back to week 5, we've seen Widowmaker and McCree as a duo banned in 3 of those weeks out of the 7. But the caveat to this is that we haven't seen, through that whole period, competitive play, open division, competitive, and the Overwatch League line up with their hero pools. I think it's only been since week 10, if I'm not wrong, maybe week 11. And so, out of those 3 or 4 weeks that have been aligned, 2 of those weeks have seen McCree and Widowmaker banned. And I'm worried that it will set a precedent for perhaps a seesaw of the hero pools in the future, where we see Widowmaker and McCree banned every other week, and have a weird week in between where whoever comes in to replace them will get banned in turn. So, yeah, it's a slightly worrying thing, but drawing back to how this will have an impact in the league. Now, obviously, with no Widowmaker or McCree, this makes the usage of Pharah and Echo much, much easier. But with the additional Mercy ban, it much more favours Echo than it does Pharah. Pharah is much more reliant on Mercy than Echo is, although Echo would be extremely effective with Mercy. She can also get a lot done on her own. So I still expect Echo to be run without a Mercy. Now, Mercy, it's unfortunate for Mercy because she would have seen I think a pretty substantial uptick in playtime, considering Echo, but it's kind of just fallen the way it has. Do I think Echo will be dominant? I'm not sure. I think she's harder to hit in the air than Pharah is, but considering the opposition Hitscan or long-range Hitscan is going to be Soldier 76 and Ashe this week, probably it's going to be dominated by Ashe. I would not be surprised if Ashe dominates Overwatch League in week 13, because we've actually seen quite a bit of Ashe play in this week where we've seen Widowmaker and McCree available. We've seen it from Atlanta, we've seen it from Philadelphia and other teams amongst them. So with McCree and Widowmaker out, I would expect teams to default to Ashe, which is something they didn't do back in week 5, where they defaulted more to the Soldier 76, I believe. But Ashe has had a few buffs in recent times, and so I think Ashe is becoming more and more viable, which is great to see because we've never really seen Ashe be meta because she's kind of a janky hero. But there are more changes coming to Ashe as well, which can make her even stronger. So I would expect a lot of Ashe this week. It is possible we will see Ashe Echo, which would be very interesting. Will we see Echo dominate? I don't think we will see Echo dominate as such. I think she will be played quite a bit though, especially as teams are just going to want to try and find out a funky new tactic with the new hero, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Will we possibly see Echo banned in week 14? I think that's probably quite a high possibility, considering people on ladder and in Owl are probably going to have quite a bit of a Echo playtime, and so she's going to be right at the high chance of being banned again. And this is what I'm talking about with the seesaw sort of banning thing. It could be possible. It could be possible, and that's not something we really want to see. And a way to avert that possibly is going to a system where a hero once banned can't be banned for 2 weeks afterwards instead of just 1 week. That's possibly a way around that. But if I was to hazard a guess at what a lot of teams might try and run this week, it could be Ashe Echo. I think Mei might see a dip because of Echo, and actually that could be a more long-standing thing as well, although we could see teams try and default to a more Reaper Mei comp depending on the teams. Like Florida Mayhem, I would expect Florida Mayhem to play more Reaper Mei than the Ashe Echo or anything like that, But again, what we have seen with the introduction of hero pools is a lot of teams develop their own styles. Florida Mayhem very heavily want to play that May, they want to play the McCree or the Reaper. We have not seen much else from Florida Mayhem, hence we haven't seen Sire player, because they just don't play Widow. They just don't. Whereas some teams are much more open to changing things up. We have seen from Dallas Fuel recently, Doomfist Genji. That's a possibility this week. With McCree not in the pool, that's a real possibility that we could see Doomfist Genji this week. Tracer's also back this week, so that's going to be great for Decay. I think he likes his Tracer. So there is a lot of possibilities. There are a lot of possibilities this week, but I think this could be a very good week for flankers. Echo, Tracer, Genji, Doomfist could get a lot of work done this week. Especially as Echo could find her way around May, which is the biggest problem for flankers in recent times, and a Sigma as well. But I'm going to leave it here for this meta preview. We are going to be doing a lot of Overwatch League videos possibly coming up, discussing different issues. Obviously, at the end of this video, I want to say a big, how do I say a big, but a goodbye to Sinatra, the League MVP, the World Cup MVP, Overwatch League champion, has decided to end his Overwatch League career and his Overwatch career by leaving the San Francisco Shock and joining up with Sentinels. He will be with Sentinels as part of a Valorant team. Obviously, Sentinels have a few big names on their roster, with Booga, the Fortnite World Champion, maybe ex-Fortnite World Champion now, and also XQC, obviously, as a streamer as well. So there's a lot of stuff going around about Sinatra and this whole move, and there will be another video on it. That's what I'll say from this, but it's a discussion. I'm gonna have a discussion in a video that I think now needs to be had, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. Let's put it that way. But that video will be a spicy one. Let's put it that way. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.